Hello guys, so today we are here to solve the daily lead code challenge for the day. Today's challenge is find the maximum number of elements in the subset. So in this problem we are given an array of positive integers nums. We need to select a subset of nums which satisfies the following condition. You can place the selected elements in a zero indexed array such that it follows the pattern x square, x to the power 4 and so on till x to the power k, and then it decrements like x to the power k by 2, x to the power 4, x to the power 2, x. So if 2 is that selected number, then we should have 2, 4, 16, 4, 2. All these numbers should be there in that array so that we can create this sequence. If 3 is the selected number, then 3, 3 square and then again 3. So 2 times 3 and 1, 3 square is there. Okay, and it says that these two are following this pattern. Okay, but 2, 4, 8, 2 square is 4, 4 square should be 16, so it should be 16, it should not be 8. Then the square root of 16 is 4, so 4 is here, and 4's square root is 2, so 2 is also here, but this 8 is spoiling the pattern. So instead of 8, if it were 16, then this pattern would also, this sequence would also have been qualified as a pattern. Okay, so now we have to return the maximum number of elements in a subset that satisfies this condition. So how to solve this problem? So in order to solve this problem, we need to consider the given function that we need to complete. So in this we are given this int array nums. Okay, in this int array nums we will have all the number of elements, and we need to figure out which one of them is creating the sequence, and then we have to return the max length of such a sequence which is following the pattern. How to solve this problem? So in order to solve this problem, why not we consider this. So in this we'll have to declare one map of integer map is equal to new hash map like this, and then we'll have to for int n nums map dot put and map dot get default will be 0. So this, we have created our map, and now we will be declaring one variable. This variable will be the max length. So any element, any number itself can be that sequence, and if that number is there, then the max length is, it makes sense to initialize this max length with value 1. Okay, and then we'll need to go to this for loop. So let me so this for loop needs to be running on the maps entries. So map dot entry map dot entry set like this. If this is the entry set, then what we will do, if this is the entry set, then what we will do that we will check if some entry values are, that only one value is there in that map, so the frequency is only one. So obviously max length in that case will be 1. But if this entry dot get value is greater than 1, if it is greater than 1, then this max length will be math.maxLength get max length, and we'll be passing this entry dot get key, the map, and the current length we are passing as 0. Why? See, for some, we are constructing that sequence, so at the time of construction we are starting with the value 0, but this max length, the value, since we have that entry dot get value, so that key is there, so because that key is there, that max length value is 1, so that max length is 1, but the right now the current length of the sequence is 0, so it makes sense to start with the 0 value. And once we are here, we can return max length. Okay, now after this is done, we need to write this function called private int get max length, and in that we are passing this int key map of integer and then int current length. So in this case it could be that the key is 1. If key is 1, then that is a special case. Why it is a special case? Because 1 square, okay, 1 square is 1 itself. So in that case we need to get the frequency of map.get 1, and frequency of 1 tells like how many sequences we can have. So the sequence need to have one peak and then several of the values which occur in 2. So we need to return, so if f %2 is equal to 0, so if this is equal to 0, then if f %2 is equal to 0, then is question mark, then we need to do question mark, and this question mark will be f. So if it is even, then we need to do f minus 1. Otherwise, if it is even, then we need to do f minus 1. Otherwise we can return f. Why we are doing it? Because we need odd number of ones. Why odd number of ones? Because in that case we'll be able to create the pattern. So if it is even, then we'll be returning that f minus 1, the length is possible. If it is odd, then we are returning f itself. Now after we have this, then we'll be going to squaring this key, because we need to check whether the square of that key exists in the map or not. So then only we can create further pattern. So to get the value of the long next is equal to 1L into key okay, like this. And then we will do so first we'll need to check if next is greater than integer dot max value. So obviously this value, if it is greater than integer dot max value, then in no way that nums array, which is an array of integer, is going to have that value. So in that case, we just return, since the value is there, so we'll just return that current length because of this value. Okay, it is incremented by 1 and we are returning that incremented value. Otherwise what we will do that we will take the value int val is equal to the cast of that next, and then we will put a check if map contains key of val. So yeah, I mean to say the square value exists. Val, let's name it val sq, so that it is clear that we are considering the square val. And map dot contains key map val sq is equal to next if map dot contains key val sq and map dot get val map dot get key is greater than equal to 1, then in that case we'll be returning get max length. So this is a recursive call, and again we are going to pass this so we will pass this val sq map and current length plus 2. Why we are passing plus 2? We are passing plus 2 because the key is occurring 2 times, and in the pattern we need the key 2 times. See here in this sequence we need 2 times 2, we need 4 times 4, but the peak is only required once. So this is the condition when next val sq is there, the square value is there, and the current key frequency is more than 1. So that's why we are taking this current length to be plus 2. But if that is not there, then in that case, in all other cases, we can just return current length plus 1 like this. So we will run this f entry dot get value. This is a function call. Perfect. We'll submit this. So this is a good solution. I hope you liked this solution. If there is anything about this solution which you would like me to explain, please post it in the comments, and happily I'll answer those doubts. So with this, I'm thanking you. Thanks a lot. Happy coding.